Already. So this is a terrarium, as you may know, whoever's watching this. Terrariums come in different kinds. You can make one right now in a cup or a jar, or anything that you can work with safely. These are, I would say, creative common images. But you may have also heard of the term closed system terrarium. Now, I couldn't actually find an image that is Creative Commons, but generally speaking, a closed system terrarium is depends, right? How the degree to which you can make want to make it closed. But you could seal it. You could completely seal the whole thing, and once you do that, it would make a uh, basically it would regulate itself. It would the system would regulate its humidity, moisture, in order to be able to self-sustain itself. And people have been doing this for many years, decades in some cases, with remarkable results. Some of the small craters are able to survive, and you could even have competing species like a predator prey dynamic. Somehow it all kind of works out. They manage their own populations, and I don't know what the ethics of something like this is, because if you listen to Douglas Hofstadter, he's like talking about, you know, he's like, hmm, how would I feel about if there's a spider? That's an actual quote. He says, he's like, oh, I flushed the spider down the kind of the shower drain. He's not gonna feel. I mean, those kind of things, right? So ethics have to be considered. But anyway, so come back to terrarium. We know from very small experiments that we can do this in a closed loop system. Now, there's something called the Biosphere 2 project. I don't know if somebody is old enough to remember this from the 90s. And let me share this again. The Biosphere 2 was a project that was quite ambitious for its time. It started, I think, in the late 80s. It says right here, actually, 1987. It was completed after 3 or 4 years. It is this facility in Arizona, I believe. Yeah, it looks something like this. I think it was supposed to be completely sealed, and it was for the better part until they ran into some issues, right? So I'm not going to talk too much about biosphere. This is a very rich subject. If you want to just read the Wikipedia page, there's tons of information here and a lot of lessons to be learned. I think the project is being has been restarted, but I haven't followed it up since then. Anyways, here's our vision for the future. And thank you to Rusith for translating this vision so rapidly. Now, we didn't draw this to scale, but we believe that once we are able to bring down the temperature on the surface to a significant degree, that the first pivotal thing that's going to collect in, like that's going to gel in our collective cognition is some growing something on the surface. We can grow stuff in the like 27 kilometers from the surface today because it's 27 degrees Celsius. That being said, we got to focus on the surface, right? So tackle the sulphuric acid, tackle the volcanoes, sequester the carbon. There's a lot of surface on Venus, and there's so many ways that this planet can be leveraged for the good, for abundance. Okay, I should have just got into the illustration, but this is 13 seconds of what we're thinking of. This is our visualization. We believe the moment this starts happening in reality, this is going to be the next goal rush. This is going to be the pivotal moment. This is actually what we're hoping for. This is one of the core milestones we're aiming for. Everything kind of leads to this. And this is what we like. So, and let me play this. I'm just going to play it. So this is not drawn to scale, right? So we're just kind of showcasing. It's obviously not drawn to scale. I'm going to play this again because I love it that much. Again, this is not drawn to scale. Imagine you're really zooming down on the surface, and there is a terrarium there, completely closed loop. In fact, the bottom of this thing is sealed. We're just bringing some of the regular, like the soil in. We process the soil, right? And we made it good for the life that's going to thrive here. And we have some plants, a tree, maybe a banana tree, and some bugs. They're bugs. I thought they were drones at first. Maybe we'll have drones there as well. But we have some bugs in there, and we have a plant growing on Venus. And people said no one can do this in 15 years or 5 years. I would say 2 years. 2 years. Let's make it happen in 2 years. What is the problem? What is stopping humans from doing this in 2 years? I don't understand. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. I'm going to play this again. Watch this again in slow motion. Okay, this is not drawn to scale. Again, this is the surface. And that is a real tree. Imagine a real living being, whether it's genetically modified or not, it doesn't matter. This thing is growing on the surface of Venus. Let me play this one more time, okay? Maybe a couple more times. We're gonna be right back. Privacy. Let me play it one more time. All right. We have a being, a living thing, cellular structure, alive on the surface of Venus. I'm hoping this is going to be achieved within the next 8 years. We're not shooting 15 years, 8 years. We sequester the carbon, we tackle the sulphuric acid, we flood the volcanoes, we build a shield around the whole thing, the whole planet, okay? And we have global cooperation. Everyone's involved, and everyone's positive collective energy is redirected towards enabling abundance on Mars, on Venus, and in O'Neill structures. This is not my vision. This is a collective vision. This is Gerard O'Neill's vision. This is Jeff Bezos' vision. This is Elon Musk's vision. Okay, there are many other individuals. There's actually a fellow who has thought of floating constructs on Venus. I forget his name right now. I've written to him, and we wanna talk to him and learn from him. He's done a fair bit of work here. You know, this John DeLue's vision, not necessarily in a Venus sense, but John DeLue has done some phenomenal work transforming some of the most harsh environments on the Earth and transforming them into oases in different parts of the world. So my friends, this is a collective vision. This is totally possible based on how we're looking at this. This is not a 200, 1,000-year-old vision. With all due respect, I believe that some of the experts that I have a lot of respect for are wrong. They are wrong because they're not anticipating how technology is evolving. Technological evolution, if it was on a graph, and this graph is not linear, this is exponential gains. These are exponential gains. The graph's looking like this, man. The graph's looking like this. Price to sequence genome plummeted like this. And this is an exponential graph. This is like $10 million, something like that, to sequence your own genome, whole genome, 1980, something like that. I think it's $1 or $10 million. Today you can get it done for $200. Okay. Same for this, you know, number of microprocessors on a chip. It used to be like a couple of thousand or 10,000. Today is billions. This is 1980, this is 2021. Again, the graphs, I believe Ray Kurzweil is right. The trends we're seeing in every domain are exponential. So what I'm not saying is just rely on that one phenomena alone and that's it. What I am saying, I think we should anticipate how all of these phenomena, for lack of a better word, are actually evolving, and then then put this to use. Then leverage these conditions. The good work from the past. There's a lot of research that happened in the past couple of decades. that we should leverage in order to be able to power our dreams. And I believe a big part of this is imagination, right? Imagination. I'm reading up on Neville Goddard, who's my source. And Einstein also said, right, imagination is more important than knowledge. So this is requires a lot of, hold on, you know what? I'm going to actually, it's hard for me to write with my mouse. I think I should invest in a pen tablet. But what do you think? No, I need an eraser here. Listen to me, my friends. First, I'm going to draw a heart. Okay. And then I'm going to color it. I'm going to change the world, baby. I know. I'm going to change the world. The solar system. I'm going to have my pool party. I'm going to be an American citizen soon. So I'm going to have 3 citizenship actually. I'm going to get my Knight Rider. I have a beautiful wife or partner. I'm very open-minded. Okay? And the person who's got to love me, man. Family. This is my number one thing, man. It's all about family. Okay? Family. What's your dream? What's your dream? What's your vision? What's your dream? I'm still single, by the way. Okay? All right. What I'm saying is, oops. Well, you could use red color. Why does we say red? It cannot be used as a imagination. And you gotta use this for positive, universally positive things. Everybody has the potential to do a lot of good or you can be on the upward spiral or downward spiral. And that's for you to decide. It's not going to come from anyone. It's going to come from you. You hear me? And I'm not a guru, but what I'm saying to you is, listen, if you guys, the younger folks, particularly, I was talking to Bajpai. Bajpai, I hope you're watching this, man. I hope my daughter's watching this, right? And imagination is very important. This is why it's so important to spend time in nature and read books and listen to the scientists and the entrepreneurs doing good work, the social workers, the human rights activists, because you're not going to do this alone. And we enjoy a good standard of living today where a lot of people have done good work in the past. Okay? And everything in its equal right. It's all about teamwork. It's all about teamwork. I can't do this. I don't know how to do this solid work. It'll take me 5-10 hours to learn just to do this basic thing here. I care about my team, okay? My team, this is amazing work. Amazing work. This made me so happy today. This one thing made me so happy. It made me so happy. We did 3 hours and then I saw this. I was like, wow. Because I just shared this with Rusith yesterday. Let me play this one more time. All right? Let me play this one more time. I'm telling you, this is our first milestone. This is possible within 6 years. I believe this is possible within 6 years. There are hundreds of thousands of engineers in China today, who can't find good work. This is based on very little amount of information I scraped. This is going back 3 or 4 years, so things may have changed now. There are hundreds of thousands of engineers, highly trained engineers in China today, who can't find work. Man, I think that's a huge tragedy for our species. Okay, there are jobs that are available that are not getting filled, and people are not getting those jobs because something is broken. And there's talent all over the world. And let's be honest, we've all contributed towards making some of these problems. And I spoke about climate change in the past, and I spoke about uh, fossil fuels and other things. What I'm saying is, we got to think differently. I think we got to think differently. And I'm not trying to like start a movement here or anything. I'm just trying to share with everyone, whoever may be watching this. If you engage with me, I will show you step by step how this is possible in a finite time frame. Okay, but the thing is, the promise and the peril. You gotta use this for serving humans and all other life on this planet. These technologies should not be used for increased and chronic or excessive weaponization, or like this whatever's been happening in the past, excessive wars and of different kinds, and racism and prejudice and all. Anyways, I don't want to talk about all this stuff. I just want to focus on this. I'm saying this is our vision. This is the first. The, I imagine a time within the next couple of years when this is already done. This is not a 200-year cycle. I agree. With all due respect, some of the experts at NASA, without taking names, are wrong. Wrong. This is not a 200. This is not a 1,000-year cycle. This can be done in 5 years. This can be done in 5 years, because whatever you were saying is going to take all this time. You can scale that, because there's nothing happening on these real estate. If there is life, that's a different thing. But there's no life here, man. They said there's phosphine, then they said 2 months later there's no phosphine. Okay, so what is really going on? The thing is, you got to send more instruments there to be able to figure that out. Provided there is no life, we should put these things to use. We gotta change the topology, change the environment there, and process the soil, or however it's going to happen. Whether it's going to happen on the surface, whether it's going to happen on in floating constructs. The point is that we're going to have to do this, and the sooner we start, the better, because it takes practice to develop this as a skill set. This is not going to happen in a day or a week. This is going to take many years, right? I'd be shocked if something like this happens in the next 6 months. If something's actually growing on Venus within the next 6 months, I would think that's a miracle. That's like I would be like a standard. But hey, anything can happen, right? I'm saying like humans grew something there. I'm not saying something that is native to that in like an underground cavern or something like that. But what I'm saying is that this is like a skill that needs to be developed. That's one of the things, and imagination needs to be awakened and it needs to be applied, and that's what I'm talking about here. That's what I'm talking about. I think people should get together and create this platform for the future, right? I'm not saying our project. I'm saying just in general, because this is what we need to do, man. I personally believe that going to space will help with a lot of problems on Earth, just like it did in the 60s. Just like it did in the 60s. We got GPS, we got the internet. Well, the internet came with a lot of thinking like the Cold War would actually turn into a hot war, which may take out certain cities. I think that was a general fear at that time. That was a real fear. And the military wanted some means to be able to communicate with each other if that were to happen. That's how the internet actually started, as ARPANET, if I understand correctly. But I hope my words are not taken out of context. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that we need to create that situation again or anything like that. I think we need to just do the thing. We just need to plant the seeds. We need to sequester the thing, and we need to. This is not trivial. I think Venus is not like a very complex problem. At least the way I see it from a limited vantage point, I don't think it has been that complex. In fact, given that the planet is of the similar size and almost the same gravity, I would think that Venus is most probably going to be the backup for Earth, or is going to be the place where humans will live in this solar system. I would think, not to steal the thunder away from Mars, is going to be Earth, Venus, Martians that will be native to Mars, and well, people are going to visit from here, and there are going to be O'Neill structures.
I think that's what's going to be the model for at least the next couple hundred years. Then beyond that, you're probably going to see more of O'Neill colonies, and who knows how the future is going to evolve, right? How we're going to evolve. So it's hard. It gets hard to predict, like way out in the future. But oh, where is it? Okay, anyways, that was my. That's our vision. The key piece here is the imagination. So keep imagining. Focus on your dreams. Do good things. Focus on the exercise bit, nutrition, and sleep. All right. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to talk too much about this. I'm actually going to record again as a shorter version. Or maybe not. I think that's good. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.